Humm, baby.
Enjoy this great game.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Humm Baby Baseball channel. This is Eric, and today we got to talk about the Padres, who just traded for Darvish after trading for Blake Snell the day before. I don't ever remember a team acquiring two elite starters in back-to-back days like that, and it just goes to show this Padres team is going for it. Now, I was thinking about it, and the Padres, this is not something new. The Padres have tried to go crazy before during an off season and say we're all in to win, and it didn't work out for them. It was just a few years ago after the Giants won their third World Series, and the Padres decided we are going to win in 15, and they signed guys like Matt Kemp, Justin Upton, Craig Kimbrell, James Shields, and gave up a ton of prospects, some of whom are actually pretty damn good. You heard of Max Fried? You heard of Trey Turner? Have you heard of one of the best catchers in the game? I think it's Yasmani Grandal. All of those guys were Padres, at least in the system, and they got shipped off for all these big names, and it didn't work out. I'm not trying to say it's not going to work out this time. That's what I'm wondering. Are they doing anything different this time? They've traded for Blake Snell. They've traded for Darvish and Victor Caratini, and they signed a Korean infielder, Ha-seong Kim. So what is the difference? Well, the difference, one, is simply how are the Padres looking going into the season? Because, if it's a team that just sucks and they decide, well, we're going to make all these free agent signings and trades and we're going for it, you may not be ready to win just yet, and just adding some names may not make the difference. But if you already are looking awesome and then you just add on to that, that's when it could work out. So how did the Padres look in 2014? Well, we know the Giants won the World Series that year, but if we look at the standings from 2014, the Padres, although they were in third place, had a pretty poor record, 77-85, 475 winning percentage, didn't make the playoffs, so they weren't really that great. And they didn't have a ton of superstars. They had Will Venable at the time. They had Grandal, who they traded. They had Jed Jerko. They had Andrew Kashner in the rotation, who was pretty good. But it's not like this team was in 2014 like on the verge of winning a World Series or even making the playoffs for that matter. So at that time, and that's one reason that's different. 2020, we just witnessed what the Padres can do. Not just Tatis Jr. and Machado, but you got Lamet in that rotation. You got a lot of solid arms there. You have an amazing bullpen that dominated the Cardinals in the wild card and that won that thing almost single-handedly. And then you got a whole bunch of great veterans like Hosmer at first base. You got Pham in the outfield. Will Myers, who is a Giants killer, and that guy continues to be a really good big leaguer. So the Padres are just borderline stacked as we end 2020. So that's a huge difference from 2014 going into 15, and that's why now the Padres feel it's time to make these moves, to start sending away our prospects, because we could actually win a World Series. Whereas in 14, when they were sending away their prospects, it really wasn't a smart move, because at that time they were not ready to win a World Series, even if you add a few guys like Matt Kemp and the guys they added. Brings me to my next point. Is the talent they're getting now stronger than the talent they got back then? I'm not going to say that the talent is way better now, but I think it is slightly better. We're talking about Blake Snell, Cy Young Award winner just a couple years ago. He looked amazing. And we're talking about Darvish. Both of these guys were elite pitchers in 2020, and they're going to go right into that rotation, a rotation that already looks pretty strong. They're even tapping into the Korean market and getting a really good player over there, even though he's a third baseman and a shortstop. Obviously, that's kind of taken. But, hey, platooning or whatever, Jake Cronenworth and him can platoon, or injuries, just good depth there. And they are just, covering all their bases, literally third, second, first base. They got it all covered. And I think this is the time when you decide we're gonna trade away a bunch of our prospects and our good young players to get big league ready players, our absolute stars, shall I say, superstars. You better be damn sure that you're in a position to win. And I don't think that was the case in 15. I think that is the case now for the Padres. And despite being in the same division as the Dodgers, you can't just worry about that. You can't just be like, oh, we can't win, we have no chance, Dodgers are here, screw it. No. You have to go for it. And I like what they're doing. And the Giants, I'm just going to talk about the Giants because I'm obviously a Giants fan. I got a lot of Giants subscribers, but the Giants are not really in that position. They are not coming off of, they're coming off of a decent 2020 where we almost finished 500, and I think they overperformed, or whatever you want to say. They exceeded expectations, and I was really happy about the season. Just almost made the playoffs even, although it was expanded. So if it wasn't expanded, we would have no chance. But nevertheless, almost made the playoffs. So it was a lot of fun. It was a great season, but are the Giants ready to start trading away prospects? No, absolutely not. Now, if they want to make a free agent signing and they have the money to do that, that's fine. Of course, they do risk signing somebody who has that qualifying offer, and then you lose a draft pick, something to consider. But right now, the Giants just not in that position. But going into 2022, they might be. We'll have to wait and see. Nevertheless, I'm still really excited for this season, but unfortunately, the Dodgers and the Padres are both going to be freaking loaded, and we're only in December. We haven't even hit the new year, so what is going to happen for the rest of the offseason with the Padres? Who else are they going to sign? I don't know, but I feel like even though I believe they have the same general manager, the same, pretty much the same front office. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe they have the same front office. A front office that has consistently tried to sign these guys. And even that signing, that Machado signing for 10 years, at the time I was like, that's a terrible signing, and maybe it'll turn out to be that way. But after last season, he really contributed, and they still got him on the roster. And then with Tatis Jr., they didn't trade away him. They stuck with Tatis Jr. They put him on the opening day roster at 19. So they're choosing carefully which prospects to trade away, and they have formed a great roster with a great bullpen and a great rotation. And now they're making these moves, and I really think if you're a Padres fan, you should be super excited. Remember the big Eric Hosmer deal? All those deals in the past 2-3 years are now so important because it's time. You still got those guys. So when you sign guys to long-term contracts, it could be a blessing or a curse, but I think for the Padres, it's going to turn out to be a blessing because you have awesome veterans like Hosmer, like Machado, who is, I don't know if you call him a veteran because he's pretty much in his prime, but, he knows what he's doing out there. He is a bona fide, established big leaguer. So you got those guys. Then you got amazing young talent. It's just a great mix. And when you add in Darvish, when you add in Blake Snell to that rotation, that is a team that is an absolute World Series contender right there. So this is going to be so fun to witness here, the battle between the Dodgers and the Padres for the West, and see if any of those other three teams, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, or the Rockies, can actually make some noise in that division and try to disappoint one of those two teams. It is going to be a wild ride. Hopefully it's a full 162. Let me know what you guys think down below. But I just wanted to talk about this Padres team because they are making noise. And I think it's a lot different than what we saw back after 2014 when the Padres were supposedly all in and going for it. This is a totally different beast right here because this is a team that's already excellent. That's my first point. Second point is I think these signings are even better than those signings, although those were good, and I think it's close. But I think these signings are even stronger. When I say signings, trades, acquisitions, you know what I mean. And also this team already has chemistry out there. You don't have to worry about just throwing a bunch of good names and big-time names out there and think they're going to this team is already meshing. This team is already excellent. This team has already shown what they can do. So I'm not trying to go crazy on the Padres. Obviously, I'm a Giants fan, so I'm not rooting for the Padres, but I do think that they look awesome. And as a Giants fan, I would actually prefer the Padres to win the division over the Dodgers. No offense, Dodgers fan. Love you guys, but you guys are world champs, so we got to knock you out of there. But anyway, can't wait for 2021. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Please hit the subscribe button. Please hit the thumbs up button. We're going to talk to you next time. See ya!
When the Giants come to town, it's bye-bye, baby. Every time the chips are down, it's bye-bye, baby. History's in the making at Oracle Park.